to recreate the battle. From your left, ladies and gentlemen, the Heinkel 111. In the late 1930s, the shadow of the new German swastika fell across Europe. At the same time, Hitler was training his army, building his weapons. He kept insisting that Germany wanted only peace, insisting that he wanted no new territory. Thus, most of the free world ignored the warnings that were readily evident as Austria was taken over by German, and Czechoslovakia was sacrificed in the sellout of Munich. By now, Hitler had built the most awesome war machine in the history of the world, and, as forecast by America's General Billy Mitchell just a few years earlier, air power had become a major element of the new German war machine. In addition to the versatile Messerschmitt Me-109, one of the best fighters of the World War, Germany had developed and built bombers like the Heinkel He-111 that you see out in front of you now. Military transport like the Junkers Ju-52, the Focke-Wulf 44 trainer, the Feistler-Storch observation and courier aircraft. And these were just a few of the new powerful and efficient airplanes which came to be an important part of Hitler's new war machine. The pilots of these thousands of new airplanes were trained to work in unison with ground forces to create a new type of warfare which came to represent the symbol of sudden destruction, the Blitzkrieg, or lightning war. On September 1st of 1939, 9 columns of German panzer tanks and motorized infantry, with the German Luftwaffe supporting from the skies, advanced on Warsaw, Poland, and the Blitzkrieg had begun. Just as you see recreated here before you. Hitler's troops conquered Poland in only 28 days. Denmark in 24 hours. Holland in 5 days. Belgium in 18 days. And swept through Norway on to France. The French were supposed to have the finest army in the world. But the impenetrable Maginot Line of the French crumbled and falls before the Nazi Blitzkrieg and Hitler's goose-stepping troops entered. Germany had conquered Europe. All that remained free was England. Fortified and inspired by Winston Churchill, the British knew that the fate of Europe and possibly the entire West was in their hands. Planning his invasion of England, Hitler realized that it would be necessary to neutralize the British air defenses first. Luftwaffe Air Marshal Airman Goering was ordered by Hitler to overcome and destroy the British Air Force by all means possible and as soon as possible. Led by airplanes such as the British Spitfire, approaching from your left, ladies and gentlemen, flown by Bill Greenwood from Colorado, the British Spitfire. For 24 days and nights, Luftwaffe fighters and bombers pounded England. They outnumbered Royal Air Force, flying Spitfires and Hurricanes, drove back attack after attack. The Germans lost more than 1,700 aircraft against only 900 British planes destroyed. So successful was the Royal Air Force and the defense in England that Hitler was forced to cancel the invasion of Operation Sea Lion in October of 1940.
In the serene Hawaiian Islands called Pearl Harbor, America's greatest naval base is awakening this morning with most of its fleet anchored peacefully within the confines of the harbor. The Imperial Japanese Navy approaches, launched 183 fighters and bombers of the first air fleet toward Pearl Harbor, and so confident are the attackers of total surprise that as they approach the island, the coded signal indicating a totally successful raid is flashed back to the Terrier Task Force before the first bomb falls. Tora, Tora! Tiger, Tiger! A single remote radar station is one mistook him for a flight of B-17s due in from the mainland. The B-17s arrive and, like America itself, find themselves in the middle of a war that has not been declared. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you're there. This is December 7th, 1941. The surprise, Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. This is Tora, Tora, Tora. To your left, ladies and gentlemen, the Boeing B-17 flying fortress coming in. Here, up, down, rather, up, and the eastern edge of Ford Island. In the center of the harbor, 7 battleships lay in berth. The California, the Oklahoma, West Virginia, Tennessee, Arizona, with the repair ship vessels were on board, and the Nevada. The Japanese hit first with torpedo bombers. The initial wave of torpedo bombers, like the one in front of you right now, hit the Oklahoma, the California, the Nevada, the West Virginia, and an aging target ship, the Utah. Then came the dive bombers. Armed with 1,760-pound armor-piercing projectiles made for 16-inch battleship guns, but converted to aerial bombs, these planes dived down on the Nevada and the Arizona. Anti-aircraft fire veered the bombers away from the Nevada on the first carrier task force before the first bomb flew, indicating they had total and complete surprise. This was the event that propelled the United States into the global conflict known as to the sights and the sounds of the Tora attack. Right down on the deck, the Kane torpedo bombers coming in, dropping their torpedoes toward the battleships. We were caught with most of our naval fleet safely within the confines of Pearl Harbor. Most of our airplanes were on the ground and hit
Call the SNJ on Tokyo soil. From your left, the Doolittle Raiders. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Tokyo had been bombed for the first time.
On your left, you can see Captain McIntosh beginning the takeoff roll. Into a seat with a pressure of up to 9 times his normal weight as he performs a 360-degree IG turn with a radius of less than...
Ladies and gentlemen, to show the versatility of the UK maritime patrol aircraft. As we discussed earlier, an airliner-sized aircraft but was flown far more aggressively than any commercial aircraft the same size, which we'll hope to demonstrate today for you. Okay, it's rolling down the runway now. 4 main power plants of 4 Rolls-Royce Spain turbofan engines, each producing 12,000 barrels.
Ladies and gentlemen, the WWII is overhead. Please cover your ears if you don't want some noise. How about a big round of applause for the Dias base crew and the B-1B?
All right. Thank you very much, Captain Davis Wallett with the B-1 folks from Dias.